Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube.com. It is good old MF Michael Fletcher alongside the phenom Michael Bullock and the man who allegedly tells it like it is, Anthony the Hitman Florio. Welcome to the show, everybody. We got a great show lined up for you tonight. Of course, we got SmackDown Live. Also got to cover Lucha Underground, and we got some happenings in Ring of Honor as well. So let's dive right in. We're going to go with SmackDown Live. We started it tonight from our nation's capital in Washington, D.C. at the Verizon Center, formerly known as the MCI Center. And the first thing we had tonight was Miz TV with the WWE Champion. Now, note what I just said. WWE Champion. Apparently, again, the WWE brass has decided that they're no longer going to call it the WWE World Title. It's just going to be referred as the WWE title. And one other bit of news, it was supposed to have been James Ellsworth versus AJ Styles. Unfortunately, James Ellsworth came up a little under the weather and was not allowed or not able to compete for the title tonight. So the next thing we know, we had a situation on our hands, and it was basically a one-on-one encounter between AJ Styles and The Miz. And the next thing we know, a whole bunch of people got involved. We had Dolph Ziggler, we had Dean Ambrose, we had even Luke Harper show up. And he actually laid out everybody had their mindset on one thing and one thing only, to become the WWE champion. And I'm going to say this was a solid way to start the show. Now, okay, there was a couple of eye roll moments because of the fact that, oh God, please, AJ Styles and Miz were kind of beautifying themselves, saying, oh, how much they like their hair and the belts and this and that. But it got real serious was when AJ Styles was like, who's next? Who can I take on? And the Miz decided, hey, I'm an Intercontinental Champion. I was a WWE champion at one time, and I would make the belt legendary. So the next thing we know, Ambrose and Ziggler both show up. They both made their mentions pretty quickly what they were going to do. But Dean Ambrose was very interesting because Ambrose, he let Dolph Ziggler, they started brawling. Then Ziggler got basically laid out, skull crush finale'd. Then Dirty Deeds to Miz, but then Dirty Deeds to Ziggler. Ambrose lays out Ziggler, which is like a whoa. Are you kidding me? Then that crazy vignette of the Wyatt show up. So you're thinking, oh great, Bray's gonna show up. Maybe Randy Orton shows up. No, it was Luke Harper, and Luke Harper clotheslines Dean Ambrose literally out of his boots and points at AJ Styles and the WWE title. Goodness, we got some competition for the belt. I like it. With that said, solid opening. Anthony Florio, what says you?
Segment of the night. That's what says me, MF. Yes, indeed. Hello, friends. It's Anthony Florio, the man who tells it like it is, not allegedly tells it like it is, contrary to what MF thinks. But nonetheless, as we start off another edition of SmackDown Live, there was a lot going on in that segment. Nothing really cleared up about the title picture, but we at least know the main players. And it was a solid opener with a few surprises. Nice to see Ambrose get after Dolph a little, as they have no reason to like one another, especially after, the program they had back at SummerSlam this year. Harper is a wild card here, and it's nice to see him get a little rub by being involved at the top of the card. He's criminally underutilized as the third man in the Wyatt family, of course, behind Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. So I'm interested to see if that was just a one night thing or maybe this is something more long term. Hoping for the latter on that one. But nonetheless, though, it was a great segment. I mean, yeah, windbag talking segment. You know how I am about that. Monday Night Raw started off with a match last night. Let's keep that in mind. And we had to start off with a talking segment, a Miz TV segment. Although Maurice looked stunning as usual, and I made Bullock know that abundantly clear when we did our SmackDown live chat tonight, and I'll say it like that. It started off, with AJ and Miz, the ego trips, and then it got real, and then all the fun started, and that's what made it so fun. So there really wasn't any other talking segments that I know of on the show. So by default, we would have to call this the segment of the night. So well done by all. I think I said my piece. So with that said, Phenom, Michael Bullock, long time no talk to there, buddy.
Yeah, certainly long time no talk. Yes, hello friends. This is the Phenom, Mike Bullock here for another edition of the Cerebral Smack talk. Yeah, I agree. This was the segment of the night, and yeah, of course, you start off with the Miz and AJ Styles with their egos, of course, basically talking about each other, and then of course, Miz says, "You know what? I was once the WWE champion, and I'll make that title legendary." And basically saying he wants that title again. And then out comes Dolph Ziggler, and then out comes out comes Dean Ambrose, and then out comes Dolph Ziggler, and basically, of course, Miz hits a skull-crushing finale on Dolph Ziggler. Then Dean Ambrose hits the Dirty Deeds on the Miz. Then surprisingly, he hits the Dirty Deeds on Dolph Ziggler. And then all of a sudden, just when you think everything's cleared up, you get that vignette, and Luke Harper appears and hits that spinning clothesline on Dean Ambrose, and then it was basically Luke Harper was making his intentions clear that he wants a shot at the WWE title, and that's when, of course, Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan basically said, "You know what? We're going to have ourselves a fatal four-way elimination match to determine the number one contender for AJ Styles WWE Championship." And AJ Styles will defend that title against the winner of the fatal four-way elimination match on the December 27th edition of SmackDown Live, which is the final SmackDown Live of 2016. So yeah, so segment of the night, everybody did play their parts really well, and well, we got the Twisted Angel Dee Dee Woodson in, and so Dee Dee Woodson, come on in and talk to us about and give us your thoughts on the opening segment with the Miz TV segment with AJ Styles and the Miz, and then all this chaos that erupted.
Well, I would have been here sooner, but something I guess happened to my invite until I texted Fletcher. So, I thought it was a pretty good segment. I mean, you got to see everybody, eyeing the target that AJ has on his back, and I was not surprised that Miz made it, all about him, even though he had AJ as a guest. And of course, it leading up to booking the main event for the night. So, I thought it was a very good segment. It was very informational. It was very well put together, seeing as Ellsworth was not going to be able to compete tonight. So that's about all I'm going to say about that. So just move on.
All right, indeed. And, I got to apologize to Dee Dee Woodson because I didn't think you were going to be on the show tonight because I know you've been, your work commitments has been beyond control. So that was my fault. That's my bad. I'll own up to that one. I take full responsibility for that mistake. So, but it's always good to have you here. I'm glad that you're here. And guys, the next thing we know, it was a one-on-one women's match. It was Natalia one with Carmella, Nikki Bella at ringside doing commentary. The winner of the bout was Carmella. She wins the match. Anthony Florio, you lead off on this. What did you think about the women's match?
I'm gonna tweak my rating a little bit after second reviewing of it. 2 to 2.25 stars. I was pleasantly surprised by how good this match was. The drama over who attacked Nikki is running low on traction at this point. They need to find a way to make the mystery more interesting than just having Natty plead to Nikki because they don't have anything interesting for Nikki to say in reply. Carmella has been fine as the instigator, but they have exhausted the material. And that's all. And that's honestly what you can say about that. I mean, 2 to 2.25 stars. I mean, it was a little slow at times. I mean, yeesh. I mean, did Natty look dumb there? I mean, they're really trying with Carmella, but the crowds just don't care. So that's all I can say on that. So with that being said, 2 to 2.25 stars. I initially told Michael Bullock 1.5 to 2, but upon further review, I'm going to make it 2 to 2.25. So, Michael Bullock, what says you about Natalia and Carmella there?
I'll give it an even 2 stars. I mean, the match was fine for what it was, and yeah, there were at times it did look slow, but yeah, I mean, a very interesting match. I mean, both women basically trying to plead their case to Nikki Bella, and Natalia saying, "Look, I didn't attack you during Survivor Series," while Carmella's trying to convince Nikki Bella that Natalia did do it. So, yeah, both women definitely gave it their best, but it just seemed the crowd really wasn't that much into it. But I like the match for what it was. So 2 stars is my rating. Dee Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, I'll agree with the 2 stars. It it was good for what it was worth. It wasn't one of the boring matches, but you could tell both of them were trying to get Nikki's attention. They were both trying to call the other one the liar, and that they've in commentary they made some good points. That Nikki and Beth and Natalia had been friends for so long, but that still doesn't keep it from still being Natty to go in a to stab her in the back just so that she could step up. But at the same time, why trust Carmella when they haven't really been friends or even had a chance to be friends since Nikki came back? So I mean, the mystery's still there. Yeah, there's not a lot. There's not a lot to go on this. They're not really building this as well as they should for the whodunit that it should be. But I'm hoping within the next few weeks we'll get a little more information and maybe find out and put an end to this storyline, because it's dragging a little bit since there isn't much information going on about it, and they just don't seem like they know what direction they want to take this. So we'll just have to wait and see how this plays out. So, Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, and I agree with you guys. 2 stars is for the rating, and I want to see how it does get developed. I think that's kind of the biggest issue is the development of it, and I don't know how it's gonna go out. But one thing's for sure, it's gonna be we'll wait and see what happens, and wait and see what happens in the long term. But solid enough, good match. I mean, well done by by both women in that instant, and we'll wait and see what happens there. All right. So next up, was a very special match. This was to determine the #1 contender for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship, and we determined it in a battle royale. But now here's the real cool thing about this. Everybody was involved, so all the teams were competing. But when one person got eliminated, you got to continue on. Last person standing wins it for the team team and they become the number one contenders. I like this better than any other format in tag team battle royales because I hated it the fact when one man was out, the whole team was out. I thought that was stupid. The winners of the bout, the new number one contenders for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship is Zack Ryder representing the Hype Bros. The Hype Bros are your number one contenders. Michael Bullock, you lead off.
Yeah, I actually like this format better than all the other formats, whether it's the Battle Royal or even a traditional Survivor Series elimination match, where if one person gets eliminated, the entire team is eliminated. And I'm gonna give this about three and a half. I'll give it 3 to 3.5 stars. I think I'm leaning more towards 3.5. I mean, I enjoyed this battle royal. I mean, especially because of that, the format where if one member of your team is eliminated, you basically your team still even gets to continue with the partner that you have left, and somehow I had this feeling that the Hype Bros were going to win this because I think it was in an exclusive video. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, where they made their intentions clear. They want a shot at the tag team title. So I had that feeling inside me that they were going to win this battle royal. And lo and behold, I was correct. So the good news is, Hype Bros, you won the battle royal. The bad news is now you got to face the tag team champions in the Wyatt family. And of course, the question is, which two? Because remember, Shane McMahon instituted the Freebird rule, so any of the 3 members of the Wyatt family can defend the tag team title. So you'll never know. It could be Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, or Randy Orton and Luke Harper, or Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. So that's going to be interesting to see how it goes. So now, when will we see this tag team title match? We'll just have to wait and see. So 3.5 stars is my rating. Dee Woodson, what says you?
Yeah, I'll agree with the rating. It was a very good match. I do like the new format. What I thought was kind of funny there at the beginning was the fact that, as soon as they came back from commercial break, the first person to get eliminated was Gotch. And, out of all the teams, it was kind of surprising to see, one member of the Vaudevillains automatically out. But it made, it set it up to where you could actually tell, okay, not both team or members are gone. And, so we got to see the other one continue on throughout the match. And it ended up being really good. I was surprised, that, that some of these teams didn't get out as early as others. I do think we have a little bit of explaining that's going to have to come from Slater on the accidental elimination of Rhino. But of course, that they haven't been getting along up to this point. So this will be interesting to see, if this completely dissolves the tag team now that, Heath actually knocked his partner out and eliminated him. So we'll see what happens there. But I really think it ended up being really good. I'm surprised, kind of surprised, kind of not surprised that Ryder ended up being the last one, because Ryder there for a while before Mojo came over was doing really well in singles, and now here they are as a tag team. And so it's going to be a nice change to see somebody different stepping up and and going for the tag titles and seeing, you know, exactly where this falls, where this goes in the end. So yeah, I like the match very well, and you know, congratulations to the Hype Bros and Zack Ryder for doing the pin on Connor. So um, whoever's next, take it.
Yeah, that'll be me. Second best fight of the night, absolutely. 3 to 3.5 stars. One of the better battle royals we've seen in a while. I mean, I'll be honest. It was between one of two teams. I thought it was either going to be American Alpha or the Hype Bros, and honestly, I admit it, I was leaning more towards American Alpha. But no, the Hype Bros get it. I mean, they were my second choice, honestly. But let me just say it like this though. Yeah, the Hype Bros versus Orton and Wyatt. They must want to put off Alpha chasing the Wyatts for as long as possible to build a fan appetite for it. But I think it's already there. The Hype Bros feel Bush League and out of place in comparison with the champions. So whenever that match goes down, you already know who's going to win. I mean, the outcome is not in doubt. I mean, we all know Orton and Wyatt are going over. But keep in mind, the Wyatt family as a unit are tag team champions. And it's because of that they have they're going to be invoking the Freebird rule just like the New Day does. So it may not necessarily be Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton when the time comes for them to defend against the Hype Bros. But I will say it like this: the last few minutes were fine, but most of it was not really all that good. You think, given the obvious depth issues, they put some mid-carders together just to attempt to up the star power in the bout? American Alpha's booking continues to baffle me, and that's really what it does. But I still have faith. You know, I'm not giving up the faith. You know, as we always like to say, keep the faith, my friends, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep the faith. Don't worry, American Alpha. They're gonna get their shot soon enough, and when they do, I think they're gonna be the team that will dethrone Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, or the Wyatt family, as tag team champions whenever that day comes. So we'll see when that comes. We don't know when, but we know it will happen. I believe it. So with all that being said, it's 3 to 3.5 stars. It's most definitely the second best fight of the night, and one of the better battle royals I've seen in a long time. And I agree with the ruling. I mean, instead of one man being eliminated, the partner has to leave. No, you got to get rid of them both. That's good. Imagine if they had done the same thing at Survivor Series. That would have made that match a hell of a lot more interesting, even though the finish was amazing. But that's it. 3 to 3.5 stars. Second best fight of the night. I don't know if MF shared his piece on it, but MF, let's get your thoughts on that battle royal. What do you think of it?
Well, I gave my thoughts about it at the very beginning when they declared the winner of it. I think that it was, look, I liked it. I thought the match was amazing. I thought the battle was, I liked the battle royale element. And the thing that has always been surprising about me is that, you know, they decided that it was going to be that way, you know, whatever, blah, 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 blah. This time around, they nailed it. It felt so good. It felt fresh. It felt amazing. And for me, I loved it. I had nothing wrong with it. I had nothing against it. So for me, I had nothing wrong with this storyline or anything else. So yeah, this was amazing. All right.
Oh,
So
Fletcher, I got some breaking news regarding what happened tonight. Zack Ryder has suffered a knee injury.
how? Oh yes, I noticed that too.
Ruh-roh.
I think we all noticed that.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm trying to get the. It says he suffered an injury to his left knee. The injury took place when Zack Ryder attempted a Rough Rider in the same contest in which the Hype Bros won a tag team #1 contenders battle royal. This victory gave them the right to challenge SmackDown tag team champions, the Wyatt family. After the match, Ryder was carried to the trainer's room and is currently on crutches. According to WWE's Dr. Chris Robinson, he says, "We think he injured his kneecap or his patella. We think it popped out and then popped back in. So we're just going to do an MRI to make sure that there is no cartilage damage or some tendon tearing, stuff like that. Hopefully
Tendon damage. Yeah.
there's not, and it'll be a shorter rehab period. If there is, there's a different road we might have to go down that may take longer to get him to recover. So that's all I have from what I.
Man. I mean, what
What
and
a changer this is, and if he has to have surgery, what does this mean for the Hype Bros and their #1 contendership for the tag team titles?
Well, unfortunately, I think that at that point you would have to look for new #1 contenders. At that point, but unfortunately, I would have to say I'm sorry, and I would be very sorry to say this, but the Hype Bros would actually be put on ice. Basically, you would have to wait for Ryder to fully heal, and then when he does fully heal, then they'll probably give them the right to go after the belts again. But until then, because I did notice that too. If you notice at the end of the match, and I don't know why I completely missed this, but I think we all might have should have known this. Remember, look at what Ryder was doing. Holding onto the rope, grimacing in pain. Even when Mojo Rawley ran out and started going wild. But did you notice how Ryder was like grimacing in pain? You saw one of the trainers. It looked like he was coming around. So it kind of sensed like, we got problems. But they kind of disguised it really well. But unfortunately, now Michael Bullock has dropped the bomb on us and has said that, unfortunately, Zack Ryder has indeed suffered an injury. We will definitely be on top of this as more information does become available, either from any one of us. We are definitely on search mode. Our producers are scrambling right now. You should see this office right now. It is absolutely a mad scramble right now. They are running, using every type of electronic device right now. iPads, iPhones, Android devices. They are trying everything to find out what's going on with Zack Ryder. We're trying to get a tap, from the reporters in Washington, D.C. right now. If anything should come out, we'll let you know right here on the Cerebral Smack Talk tonight. So, guys, hang tight. We might have some more. Hopefully, we'll have some more breaking news before the show goes off the air tonight. If we do, we'll report it. If we don't, then, like we always say, wait till Derek Ferreira. He normally does a wrestling podcast almost every day. He'll probably give us latest update on Zack Ryder. If not, then you could always get it from the Mikey's Mindset or from Tony's Take. We're always busy. When we always got some free time on our hands. We'll if we need to, we might even do a Facebook Live posting. I've done that many times in the past. So we'll wait and see what happens. Let's just move on to the show, guys. And the next thing we had was the WWE SmackDown Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss, and she came out and she went up against this local beautiful wrestler. But I don't really know her name. Basically, she beats her up. Becky Lynch comes out saying, "Hey, I want a shot. You're talking this big game and talking how great you're a champion. Why don't you put the title on the line?" Alexa Bliss is like, "No, not tonight. I'll fight you another. I'll do this another day." And the next thing we know, Shane O'Mac shows up and he's like, "You know what? I got a good idea. We're in the nation's capital. We're in DC. And I think SmackDown Live would be a great show tonight if we had a WWE SmackDown Women's title fight on the show tonight." You know what I'm going to say about this? And I cannot believe I'm going to do this. Anthony Floyo, Michael Bullock, if you guys want to help me on this,
I'm in.
Do it. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
I
somewhere Alexa Bliss was probably saying, no,
No.
no,
No.
no,
No.
no,
No.
And, well, it happened. We had a title fight. And when it was all said and done, the winner of the bout via countout is Becky Lynch. However, in wrestling, guys, a title cannot change hands on a countout. Still, your WWE SmackDown Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss. Anthony has said it once, he'll say it again. The woman that you probably would end up divorcing. Well, okay, who leads off on this now? I
do.
I think Dee Dee Woodson does, because I led
all
off in
right.
the last match.
All right, Dee Dee, it's all yours, my dear. Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, title on the line. Count out victory for Becky Lynch. Your thoughts?
Okay, where do I start? Well, first of all, when Shane came out, Alexa was pretty much kind of the childish there, saying, "No, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to." You could see her running her mouth as they went into commercial break, talking back to the boss, because apparently, if you have a major title on SmackDown, you think you're the boss. Well, I hate to tell AJ and Alexa this, but you do have a boss over you, and you have to do what he says instead of what you want. And that boss is Shane O'Mac. And second in charge is yes man Daniel Bryan. So you have to do what they tell you to do. And if they tell you that, yes, you have to wrestle, don't go out there and get in their face like the little biatch you were tonight, Alexa, and say, no, I'm not going to do that, because you're going to end up doing what they want you to do anyway, or you're going to walk away without a job. So, and that goes for any job. If I was to go up to my boss right now and to tell her off, I'm going to get fired. And I'm sure same with the guys, if they were to go up and tell their boss off, they're going to get fired. So, hey, don't go out there and start telling your boss off. Just get out there and do your job. But I think the biggest issue I have with the whole match is how it ended, because, Alexa goes out there and holds her ankle and all this stuff and plays injured. And then later, after Becky attacks her, she's holding her knee. Okay, Alexa, is it your ankle you injured, or is it your knee you're injured? Pretty much, you just faked your way out of a match that could have been pretty half decent match. You pretty much kind of ruined it the way you ended it, just because you didn't want to face Becky to begin with. Tough shit. Get out there and do your job. Be the champion you're supposed to be. Your job is to go out there, defend your title, not go out there and play games and play this little injured crap bit that you're sitting out there doing. You go out there, if you're scheduled to do a match, I don't care if it's somebody from NXT or if it's somebody from another company that comes in to challenge you, or if it's, the Queen of England that comes out there to challenge you. You're going to get out there and you're going to fight the damn match, because that's your job. Not sitting here saying, oh, I'm not Becky Lynch, so I don't have to fight you. No, bullshit. Get out there, do your job, fight your battles, because you're kind of making your heel character look a little bit like a joke, getting out there saying that you're not going to fight matches and defend your title just because you want to hang on to your title so you're not a paper champion. That don't go with me. For me, I'm going to rate this really low because of the fact that our champion is a pretty much of a joke in my eyes. I know this is Florio's girl. I know he likes her a lot, but I'm sorry, bud. Unless she can get out there and do her job like she's supposed to do, she does not have my vote, because I'm here to watch matches. I'm here to watch you guys compete, not go out here and play little childish school games. All right. So you get out there, you do your job, and maybe I'll give you a half decent rating. I'm only going to rate this about a half of a star, but that's only because I know Becky went out there to put up a fight and not play games like Alexa Bliss did. So I'm done with my rant. Florio, you can take it.
Woo! Holy moly!
That's why we call it a twisted angel, my friends.
And
Right?
thank God for the TV 14 rating. Wow.
Wow! Yeah,
Woo-wee.
yeah.
No, that-
You definitely would not gotten that on Ridiculously Raw. I can guarantee you that
Boy.
shit. Holy cow.
Boy, Didi, what to tell us how you really feel, man? Oh man! I mean,
I could have gone on, but I cut it off because I don't want to make this a 3-hour show. So
yeah.
boy. I mean, this is why Didi Woodson.
Fair
there
enough.
were times she's always been critical of the women's division.
It's the first time in a while that she has been that way. And when we're talking about Alexa Bliss's heel character, MF, talking about the divorcing statement that he just fired out, it's an inside joke, between me, MF, and Michael Bullock, where I would refer to Alexa Bliss as my future ex-wife, and that's exactly what she is. So based on that character, because of her character and how I am in real life. So you all know how I am in real life. So needless to say, that's a future ex-wife waiting to happen. Anyways, I'm going to give this no rating to a dud, if I'm going to be real honest with you. I mean, utterly disappointed with it. I mean, you knew we weren't going to, I knew something was up. I mean, I didn't have the utmost confidence in that, but what am I going to say here? I mean, I'm going to give it a no rating here. I mean, it was pretty good while it lasted. The low quality of their tables match at TLC was likely just an aberration, partly due to the stipulation. And, I mean, too bad we didn't get to see some of what Deonna Purrazzo can do. I mean, if you're wondering who the beautiful brunette that was in there, that was Deonna Purrazzo, who's worked in NXT. She's worked some women's matches in NXT. So that's who that was. And like I said, it was too bad we didn't get to see we didn't get to see some of what Deonna Purrazzo can do. Although a cameo is not necessarily a bad thing. I was surprised to see the rematch take place tonight, but like in the immortal words of our broadcasting heroes like Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse Ventura and all them, this feud is far from over. We all know that. And the match never quite got going. They put forth a good effort, but it didn't last long enough to reach any level of suspense. And they worked a relatively low-impact match that didn't have many crowd-pleasing high spots. I think it might look a bit better if Alexa was able to sell Becky's comeback in a more animated way, because she's playing a vulnerable champion, but not really working the match that way when she's selling. So that's all I can say about that. So yes, Becky wins the match via count out. That obviously means she's going to be entitled to another rematch down the line, maybe on that final show of 2016, perhaps in a couple of weeks, maybe. That would make sense. So that's all I can say about that. Alexa Bliss still your WWE SmackDown Women's Champion and still my future ex-wife. So go ahead, MF. It's all yours. How do you follow that?
I mean, how can I really follow that? I mean, after the epicness by Didi Woodson, I think she just stole the show from us, guys. I think she just hijacked the show on us. But no, man, that was amazing. There's nothing more. I can't even follow it. I do agree that this was a disappointing title fight. I hope we get a bigger payoff down the line. Maybe Royal Rumble, maybe at another later date. We'll wait and see what happens. But until then, Michael Bullock, I'll just give it to you, and you can put in your 2 cents about this.
Yeah, this was a disappointing match. Yeah, I agree with the no rating to a dud. So yeah, I'm not going to waste any more time on this, so I'm just going to move on.
And we go on to the main event of the evening, the Fatal 4-Way for the right to become the #1 contender for the WWE Championship. It was Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, Dean Ambrose, and Luke Harper, the winner of the bout and number one contender for the WWE Championship is Dolph Ziggler. He wins. And I gotta admit, this is a surprise. I did not think it was going to be Ziggler. Honestly, I thought it was going to be Ambrose. I thought they were going to go to the well again to give Ambrose one more opportunity at becoming the WWE champion. And no, they went with Dolph Ziggler. And quite frankly, I am excited over this announcement. My rating is 3.5 stars. This was, to me, I thought a great main event, a great way to close the show. Probably not as epic as what Monday Night Raw had last night, but this was pretty damn awesome. I think it was pretty close to near perfection for me. A perfect number one contender, a great battle, and I cannot wait for that night when AJ Styles and Dolph Ziggler fight. Because, ladies and gents, this could be a show stealer. I mean, I think they could absolutely put a 5-star classic of a fight. I mean, these two men are great workers. As if they can get the chemistry right, if WWE gives them enough time, which I know SmackDown Live has been known to do really well. They use their time a lot more better than Monday Night Raw does. So I think SmackDown Live could really hit a home run here and really give us a fight to remember. If they wait till, if they do it on the final SmackDown of the year, that would be awesome. Or do they put it as the first fight of 2017 and give us an instant fight of the year candidate? We'll wait and see what happens. But 3.5 stars is my rating. Anthony, it's yours.
I'm right there with you, MF. 3.5 to 4 stars is actually my rating for this. Ziggler winning it in 19 minutes and 35 seconds. Overall, good match, but lacked down the stretch. They set up Styles versus Ziggler and added to Ambrose versus Miz. I just was waiting for them to really hit the next gear down the stretch, and they sort of never did. But there was still some great action in this, and I'm gonna be real honest with you. I was really hoping for Luke Harper to get a win there. Large parts of the crowd were pretty disappointed too. I mean, swapping feuds between the two champions might actually be the least interesting option they could have gone with. Although I understand if they are just biding their time, waiting to get to the Royal Rumble and a soft reset heading into WrestleMania. John Cena returning in 2 weeks will be a shot in the arm, but they really couldn't have used a new infusion into the main event scene on SmackDown. Harper is one of the few guys on the show that can slot right in and feel like he belongs there. Hopefully this is not a one-night-only thing for him. So, I mean, that's really all I can say, as far as that goes. But the match, though, well done, great action, definitely the element of Shakespearean drama. And Mauro Ranallo on commentary made my night because during the match, we got not one, but two tope suicidas. And then on top of that, if that wasn't good enough, he throws in a Mamma Mia. Ooh. And that's why Mauro Ranallo right now is WWE's #1 announcer. 3.5 to 4 stars. It's the fight of the night. No question about it. So, Michael Bullock, tope suicida, Mamma Mia. It's all yours.
Oh man, I don't know what else is there to say. 3.5 stars, fight of the night. Man, this was a crazy match. So there's really nothing more to say. You guys pretty much touched on everything. Dee Woodson, what says you?
I'll agree with the rating, and yeah, I'm not going to add too much more to it because I think those two covered most all of it. So let's just move on.
And you know what happens next, guys. The tradition, the open form on the overall review. Anthony has already unmuted his mic, so I guess we know who's batting leadoff. Florio, it is all yours.
6 3/4 teetering on 7 out of 10 for this show tonight. It was a pretty good show tonight. They set some things in motion for the show in 2 weeks, crowned new tag title contenders, although I think we're going to have to rebuke that now after the breaking news we came across just a little bit ago. And they did a solid job of following up on last week's show. I'll be honest, it was far from a must-see show, but it was easy to watch. I will admit that. You know, the time went by fluently. And what else is there to say except the main event stole the show? I mean, clearly SmackDown Live took notes from last night's Raw because, you know, they saw what their main event was. That second tag team title triple threat with the New Day and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and Jericho. And they saw that. I'm like, okay, well, I think let's have our own little fun with it, our own little multi-man match. It wasn't a triple threat. We got a fatal four-way, and it was an elimination style, and that one was just as good, if not better, than that main event. I mean, both main events were neck and neck, but I still think the Raw one was just a smidgen better. Not just because I'm a Raw guy, no, but I got to go by overall match quality and time, and you know, about a minute longer, but. Anyways, that main event stole the show. The Battle Royal was a pleasant surprise. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything much out of that, but that Battle Royal was one of the better ones I've seen in a while. And, I mean, the Hype Bros will play the role of sacrificial baby faces of the week, which is fine. But, of course, this was what I had before going in. They got a good reaction, and they'll have a fine – and I had said they were going to have a fine match with Orton and Wyatt, but I'm going to have to rebuke some of this now. They also continued the breakup of Heath Slater and Rhino. They also followed up on last week's Tyler Breeze and Chad Gable match with Breeze tossing Jordan, which should lead to a fun short-term feud. I liked the booking of that, but the match was largely clunky and didn't flow all that well. Those were really the two best fights of the night. I mean, and then the women's matches were both okay for what they were. Carmella and Natalya, I appreciated them playing into the story, but there was too much downtime and not enough actual fight. And then the women's fight, I liked where it was going before the cheap heel walkout finish, and then I gave you my piece on everything else. So when push comes to shove, it's 6 3/4 to 7 out of 10 for this edition of SmackDown Live tonight. So more storyline progression, some solid action, and then a very good. And one other thing about that Miz TV segment, it was a fun opening segment, tying feuds together, and it was a nice way to set up that four-way, and I would have been all in if it had been AJ Styles against Luke Harper. That would have been an interesting fight anywhere. So 6 3/4, 7 out of 10. That's my rating for SmackDown Live tonight. 2 weeks from now, can't get here fast enough. Styles and Ziggler, man. That's got potential to be something really special. So, with that being said, Michael Bullock, Phenom, your overall thought, or whoever wants it. That's right, it's open forum. I forgot. So,
I'll take it.
All right, Bullock. Your overall thoughts on SmackDown Live tonight? 6 3/4 to 7 for me.
Yeah, I'll give it about a 7 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the matches, of course, the Battle Royal to become the number one contenders from the SmackDown Tag Team titles. The main event was good as well. I mean, I like that opening segment with the Miz TV. Yeah, of course, the women's, the one with Carmella and Natalya was fine, but the women's title match, it was yeah, I mean, it was something left to think about. I mean, I did not like it at all. So yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. So 7 out of 10 is my rating. So whoever wants it next, take it.
Yeah, I'll probably agree with the match or the ratings on the whole show. As for Florio saying Alexa Bliss would be the ex-wife, man, I don't even think she's the marrying type. I don't think she's even worth the time, dude. So I know backstage or off WWE, she is a sweet person. She's down to earth and everything, but um, as far as her in-ring character goes, you know, she's not one you want to give the time of day to. And I was kind of looking forward to seeing her as a champion, but if this is how she's going to act, then no, I don't look forward to seeing her as a champion. The two women's matches both lacked some luster. The first one, with Natty and Carmella, even though it was kind of a grudge match on who's right, who's to say that either one of them was the ones to attack Nikki and keep her from being in the ring. It still could have been just about anybody that did it. So as far as that's going, I think they're just kind of wasting time with it, trying to say, well, yeah, she's right. No, she's right. No, she's right. I think that's kind of becoming a waste of time, and they just need to either hurry up and end this, or just drop it altogether. The women's title, I'm not going to rehash much more into that. Stupid the way they ended it. Waste of time. Most of the rest of the matches, they were at least entertaining. They surprising in the ends on some of them, but it led to storyline progression. Now it's just a matter of time to wait to see what's going to happen now with tag teams. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see how that plays out. Who's going to end up stepping up, because we know the Usos are out because of one of them has a bum limb, and now the Hype Bros are out. So SmackDown's losing tag teams really quickly with injuries. So they need to start watching that really closely. And now we'll have to wait and see, who's going to go up against the Wyatts. And, and no telling what combination of the Wyatts we're actually going to see. It could be Luke Harper and Bray. It could be Bray and Randy. It could even be Randy and Luke. We don't know. We'll have to kind of wait and see what happens there. And it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out whenever we finally figure out who's going to go up against them in the end. So I guess I've wasted enough time. So Fletch, it's yours.
You made a very valid points on everything, and no, I don't believe you wasted any time. At least in my eye, I don't think you wasted any time at all. I disagree with that, but I truly believe that with everything that has happened, I think it was like we said, it was a solid show. There's really nothing bad to say about it, and I think what we've seen with Ring of Honor, with everything that's been going on, I think it's just going to get even better. I think it's going to get even better, and we'll wait and see what, definitely in the near future. And, good show, great body of work on everybody that, are in this. And I think it came out really good. So, no, I think it was just one of those situations that even I was very happy to see. So, no, I got nothing to say at all. And we're just gonna dive right in, because it is now time for, well, Anthony gets really excited for it, and I when I do this. So it is time for the Mikey's Mindset. And ladies and gentlemen, I mean, I got some Ring of Honor stuff, I got some Lucha Underground stuff, of course. Ring of Honor, coming off the heels of one of their biggest shows of the year, which was the Final Battle, where we did indeed crown a new Ring of Honor World Champion, Kyle O'Reilly representing Red Dragon. He is your new champion. And this time around, um, after they did everything that they did, um, basically we were wondering what's the future gonna be, what are they gonna do with all the stuff. And as a matter of fact, as many of you guys know, a couple of bits of news that came out during the week, and I'll even announce it. Steve Corino is no longer gonna be with Ring of Honor. He's actually done with Ring of Honor, and because he said that he said his goodbye to the promotion in Philadelphia on Sunday night, and he has actually is going to sign with WWE in the very near future. He is signed. He is going to sign with World Wrestling Entertainment now. Steve Corino will most likely become an announcer. So if that's true, that means he will probably be heading to NXT. That means Corey Graves will probably be a full-time with WWE now, and Steve Corino will most likely be working with NXT. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you liked Corey Graves, you're going to love Steve Corino with commentary. He is a natural heel commentator. He will fit in perfectly for Ring of Honor. One other bits of news that I can also announce is that the Young Bucks has signed a 2-year deal with Ring of Honor to stay in their program. And one other shocking announcement is Matt Hardy, Broken Matt Hardy, after the Young Bucks successfully defended their tag team titles. This was actually pre-recorded, and I can't believe this wasn't. I didn't get my hands on this until now. Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero has issued an open challenge to the Young Bucks for a fight. Anytime, any place, anywhere in the universe. And yes, this was legit, Anthony. They were indeed invited to the tag team Apocalypto for total nonstop deletion. Now, do they take it? We'll wait and see. One other bit of news from the world of professional wrestling that was Ring of Honor related is Cody Rhodes has signed with Ring of Honor, and he's also signed a deal exclusively with New Japan Pro Wrestling and is about to become the newest member of the Bullet Club. Yeah. So that's your Ring of Honor news for the week, just to give you guys that. And actually, I do also want to make a big announcement. On January 14th, there's going to be a TV taping show, and it's going to be held in Atlanta, Georgia. On that night, Cody Rhodes will make his Ring of Honor wrestling debut. And to give you more over, have been announced for this show. So all you fans in the ATL, listen up and listen good, because this you're really going to you're gonna love. Please, on Saturday night, January 14th, from the Center Stage Theater in Atlanta. This is the card right now. It is going to be a tag team attraction. Adam Cole and Cody Rhodes representing the Bullet Club versus Jay Lethal and Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion Riley in tag team competition as well on that night. The Punisher Martinez and BJ Whitmer will go up against the War Machine. And we also have is what they call the Decade of Excellence. A Decade of Excellence tournament that's been going on right now. In one semifinal match, Jay Briscoe will go up against Jay Lethal. The second semifinal match is going to be Christopher Daniels, and we do not know who he's going up against right now. That will be determined on a later date. Plus, former Ring of Honor television champion Bobby Fish, the Young Bucks, Dragon Lee, Kushida representing New Japan Pro Wrestling, and one of my personal favorites, Dalton Castle with the boys, are all going to be in Atlanta. Please get your tickets right now at ROHWrestling.net. I'm going to give that again, ROHWrestling.net. You guys can get your tickets right now for that big show in Atlanta, Georgia. The start time is 7 p.m. And normally when they do TV tapings, I'm giving you the heads up right now, be prepared to be there for 4 hours of non-stop professional wrestling. When Ring of Honor does a taping, they go all out. The best in wrestling is right here, guys. Ring of Honor. Cody Rhodes makes his Ring of Honor wrestling debut January 14th, 2017 from Atlanta, Georgia, which is very apropos because remember, he's from Marietta, Georgia, from his hometown. Now, to close the show tonight, we're going to do is the basically it is the second half of the what we well it is Lucha Underground, and basically what they announced was these were matches that was from the brilliant mind of one Dario Cueto. He started it off with a fatal four-way, what they call the Battle of the Bulls. Now, the winner of the Battle of the Bulls will receive a Lucha Underground world title fight in the very near future. Now, in the Battle of the Bulls, the first fight was the machine they call Cage. Triple A Mega Copion Tejano Jr. That's right. He is the AAA heavyweight champion of the world. Joey Ryan and Jr. accompanied by Famous B and the beautiful Brenda. The winner of the bout, and to go into the final Fatal 4-Way, which will be held in a couple of weeks, the man they call Cage. He wins the match. Definitely a big victory for him. Congratulations to Cage. Then the second fight of the night we had was Sexy Star versus PJ Black. And here was something very important. If Sexy Star wins, she gets a number one contenders fight, or, well, she becomes number one contender, and she gets to fight for the Lucha Underground title held by Johnny Mundo. However, if PJ Black wins, then Sexy Star will never get another opportunity at the Lucha Underground title ever again. Sexy wins. Sexy Star wins. She's the number one contender. She will get one more shot at Johnny Mundo, and this time the fight will be competed in the confines of a steel cage. In the main event spot was the final the second of the four Fatal 4-Way matches for the Battle of the Bulls. It was the Mac, Azteca Jr., the creepy bastard known as Marty the Moth Martinez, who always tries to get after Melissa Santos and gets under my skin every single god freaking time he does. And the man of 1,000 deaths, mil muertes, with the sexy Katrina. And she's my girl. I'm sorry. Melissa Santos is taken because Cage has her. But Katrina, oh my God. She's probably, I can't even say the words about what I think about that beautiful baby girl. I'm just saying for the record. All right. But the winner and the one that goes for the Fatal 4-Way and advances to the final of the Battle of the Bulls and joins the machine they call Cage is the Mac. It's my boy, yo. He represents the 617. He definitely was rised up on this one, folks. He wins it. He goes on. He fights in the final. 2 more matches will be going down this week. And more importantly, we will indeed have that main event, the Lucha Underground title on the line in the cage. It is Sexy Star versus Johnny Mundo. And more importantly, the Worldwide Underground has been barred from ringside. It is straight up one-on-one for the gold. God, I can't wait for tomorrow night. And of course, one other thing, tribute to the troops is also going down tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to want to do a special video. I might just do it solo. I don't know what you guys want to do with that. Well, I guess we'll debate about it if we're going to do anything or not. But that leaves it up to you guys. But more importantly, guys, this was an amazing evening, an amazing show. Friday night is NFL Friday. Anthony Floyo, host, will be setting up everything. We got a Thursday night game. We got the Saints and what am I talking about? The Seahawks and the Rams. That's the Thursday night game. We're going to review that. We're going to preview a special Saturday night game. That's right. There's a Saturday night game. My Miami Dolphins goes to MetLife Stadium in New York to take on the Jets. And then major games in Sunday. It's all capped off with probably one of the greatest rivalries in NFL, and one that I know Florio and myself always gets amped up for, and Michael Bullock gets a wee bit nervous on this one. It's Denver Broncos. Here we go again in the Mile High City. The last time these two teams got it on, the Broncos beat the Patriots in the snow. What's that going to be like this time around? We'll wait and see. And then, of course, there's also another major battle, this time on the NFC side. Lions, they've been roaring lately. They're on top of the division, but can they hold on to that divisional lead? Because they got a very tough battle against the New York Football Giants, and the Giants are flying really high, coming off a big victory over the Dallas Cowboys, knocking them off the top of the perch of the power rankings. How's that going to look? What happens? Then Saturday night, Anthony Floyo will host the preview video of Roadblock End of the Line. Sunday night, he hosts the recap as well. And then Monday night is the Ridiculously Raw. Then come back here 1 week from tonight. Unfortunately, guys, I'm going to have to do something that I hate I would have to do because my work commitments. Well, actually, wait. Will my work commitments get a hold of me? Just get a minute. Basically, because I'm in the home stretch of the holidays, they do have me working now. I'm going to be working more later hours than I have done in the past, and that could jeopardize me on I don't want to say it. Well, I'm going to say it anyway. It could jeopardize me from participating on the Cerebral Smack talk. So I just want to make sure that it does not. Just give me one moment, because if it does, then I'm going to have to announce something here in a moment. And it's coming up. I hope. Yes, it is. And actually, no. Okay, it will not interfere. So, yes, we'll be back here 1 week from tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk. So 10 p.m. Eastern, guys. Please make a note of that. And until then, for Anthony Florio, for Didi Woodson, for Michael Bullock, I am Michael Fletcher. Thank you so much for watching this, guys. Leave a comment of the video, like it, share it with all your friends on social media. And until then, we'll see you guys Friday night. You know the routine, HUD hand pounds. We are out. We'll see you guys on Friday. So long for now. Have a good night. Bye-bye for now.